Hello, hello, and happy Monday. Happy Monday. Is it? It's not the first Monday in June. This is the second. I'm so confused. No, it is the first Monday in June. I just had to peek at my calendar. It's the first Monday in June. Okay, I literally just skated in the door. My friend Tiffany from Thrifting Vegas and I went down to the Goodwill bins this morning. I don't know how those of you who do that on a regular basis, I don't know how you do it. It really it really affects my outlook on humanity. I'm just going to say it that way. Oh my goodness, people's behavior is just unreal. Unreal. I literally okay. How do I shorten this story? By the way, hello. This is your first time here. I am Danny Ackerman. I am the Niche Lady. I do this every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. But here's what happened. So I left the cart over on the side and I started to find all of this sugared fruit. And you guys know how I like my sugared fruit. So I found an empty box, but it was a shallow box. And I'm trying to put all this fruit and I'm stacking it. And then I'm like, okay, now I'm ready to go take it over to the cart. A plum falls out. A plum falls out. I got to rescue the plum. I rescue the plum and a pear falls out. It was really fun. I really wish Tiffany had been filming. That would have gone viral. Because what ended up happening was I ended up on the floor. I ended up on the floor chasing sugared fruit. And but the sad thing is people nearly trampled me. Nobody was willing to help. Everybody just, as one guy almost kicked the plum that I was going after. I was like, what is going on? And so I get up and I get my sugared fruit over to the cart, of course. And, but it's just, you wait for the new carts to come out and there's a line and it is like this. It is like a stampede. Like people just rushing. And then, okay, I kind of understand that. But I'm sitting there and I'm reaching for something and another lady grabs it and tosses it completely to the other side. It's not like she wanted it. It was just like it was in her way, apparently. And just, oh my goodness. It's not for the faint of heart. It is not for the faint of heart. It is, I'm not that. We found some fantastic stuff. Don't get me wrong. And it's so super cheap, but you have to be ready to put up with people who we have a term around here. Rachel will ask me sometimes why someone is driving a certain way or why did they do that, Mom? And she knows now. I said, what is it? And she will rattle off, oh, selfish and entitled. We are in a selfish and entitled world now, and they are all around us. I know none of my viewers are that way, so I can openly speak this way. And if any of you viewing are that way, I'm sure I'll start getting thumbs downs and nasty comments. But, I just, But we got to love them all, right? We got to love them all. Yeah, it was something else. Yeah, we're talking about the bins, Anybody in the chat? Anybody else in the chat, brave enough to hit the Goodwill bins wherever you're at? Wait till you see the stuff we found. I found an intact oil lamp. I got the most delicate little swan oil lamp thing that I don't even know how that survived. It's crazy the stuff that survives and then the stuff that doesn't. It's just crazy. But there you have it. We filled 2 carts full and got out of there spending $60 total. Oh, you did once, but they're so far away, it's not worth it for you to drive all that way. Yeah. And you're in the Phoenix area, right, Tiger? And like you only have one Goodwill Bins? Interesting. So what I found also very, very interesting was that this new building that they call it the clearance center. They don't call it the bins. We've named it the bins. But the Goodwill Clearance Center also now houses their e-commerce warehouse, and there's like a pickup area. So I may actually like look at shopgoodwill.com a little closer for the Las Vegas stores because I don't have to pay shipping. I can pick it up right there. And that could make a huge difference because the shipping they charge is insanity. Insanity. Oh, you're in Mesa. Okay. I gotcha. Yeah. I used to live in Casa Grande, so I'm very familiar with the lay of the land in that state. I do need to make a Phoenix trip. I'm going to Arizona tomorrow, but I'm going to like the Bullhead City area. The places I usually go. And I'm so happy to see some of my Facebook peoples on here in the chat too. Now, I don't think my YouTube people can see the Facebook chatters, but I am streaming both on YouTube and on Facebook on my page over on Facebook, trying to build that up a little bit. But if you are on Facebook, do make sure you come over and subscribe to the YouTube channel because I put out content every single day. Every single day. Yes, I do. You got a Nintendo DS Lite in a case with 2 games in the bins for $2. That's what I'm talking about right there. It's like the prices are, you can't beat it. And the thing is, it's not just stuff that they pulled from the shelves that didn't sell. It's stuff they just never even had a chance to sort. I'm telling you, the glassware that I got today was still wrapped in paper, which tells me it hadn't even been sorted. It was never going to hit a Goodwill shelf. And I was a little scared. People were tossing this stuff around. I was rescuing pieces as quick as I could because there were some really nice pieces of glass. Oh, the find of the morning, a real alligator head, a real one with real teeth and everything. It was wrapped in bubble wrap. Everybody was tossing it aside. And I kind of I was looking at this bubble wrapped thing there. And I'm like, I saw teeth and I'm like, oh, yes. And that's going in my cart. It's very crazy. Very crazy. They bring good money. In fact, we're going to talk about research and pricing today. So we can actually look that up because I would love to look up some things that I found today. I will do that with you because I run the Niche to Profit Facebook group. And one of the biggest topics is researching stuff and IDing stuff and trying to find the value of stuff. So I really want to hit that topic hard today. Oh, you made it home already. Poor Tiffany. She dumped me off here because I was like, I couldn't even help her unload the van because it's like, I got to get in here and get my live set up. So she graciously unloaded everything from the van and got home in time to pop in here. So you will have to watch both my channel and her channel to see all of what we got. Because it was a group effort. Some will be on her channel and some will be on mine. They wouldn't let us film our actually digging through the stuff. So we had to talk about it out in the parking lot as we were unloading the carts. They were mean. They were mean right as we were going in the door. Every Goodwill is different. It's so weird. It's so weird. Anyway. So yeah, let us hit this topic because this is a biggie for a lot of you. You just don't know what to sell stuff for. And are my friends Vintage and Vino here? Jerry, are you over in my chat today? Because I'm going to talk about a little something now. Jerry is a friend of mine. Jerry and Tim are friends of mine. And so I very lovingly have challenged them to list a particular piece at a high price. But Jerry's been very resistant, thinking like it will never sell for that much. So this is going to be a good case in point. And it happens in the group every day. Like, I am a big advocate of raise your price if it's not selling. I get comments all the time. It's like, where do you come up with these values? Well, I come up with values based on sold comps, but not just, in the last 30 days. I'm looking historically at comps too on things, because things go in trends and that sort of thing. I'm not a rule breaker. I'm just not a rule breaker. Her channel is Thrifting Vegas. Go check it out. Okay, so I am going to show you the piece that Jerry and I have been talking about. Their channel is Vintage and Vino. I'm kind of watching the chat to see if they're popping up yet, and they're not. Sometimes she can make it over here, sometimes not. Oh, she's driving. Oh, you bad girl, you. Okay, well, no chatting and driving. Come on. That's funny. I didn't think you lived that close. That's funny. All right, so let me share my screen and show you this piece. Now, they found this at a thrift store, and they were doing a challenge. Jerry and her husband, Tim, both had their cameras, and they were both in the same thrift store, and they were doing a challenge to see who could find the best eBay item. Tim found a little vintage quilt. I believe it was hand tied. I don't know all the particulars. I actually need to go back and watch that video. They did a haul video on it and really explained things. But I saw when they found these items, he found, thank you, Melissa, for posting Tiffany's channel. He found the quilt, and then she kept going to the shelf and kind of looking at this ironwood sculpture. And I am screaming through the TV set, yes, 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 yes. And so she does end up picking it up. But she really wrestled with whether to pick it up or not, because I think it was, how much was it? Oh gosh, there she is. There, it's perfect timing, Jerry. How much was the angelfish? When I'm talking about your video where you show purchasing the angelfish. Was it $20? Or was it like $30? And it was half off, so it was like $15. $15. There we go. Okay, $15. Man, I'd have had that thing in my cart so fast. We got to shop together more so I can rub off on you a little that way. So let me tell you the backstory behind ironwood. Now, this is a large piece. Hey, Jerry, is it okay if I review your listing a little bit? I'm gonna get your permission before I just go at it, because I want you to get $250 for this fish. So we got lag before she will hear me say that, and then okay, good. I knew you'd be game. So the story behind ironwood is that it used to be heavily harvested. It comes from mainly Mexico. That's why we have a lot of it here on the West Coast. So it used to be, and you know what? Let me just come back here while I tell the story. So it used to be very heavily harvested, and so these big sculptures used to be all over the place. And they were kind of a dime a dozen. Even the little ones were like a dime a dozen. Like, they were everywhere. So what happened, I don't remember what year the regulation happened. I want to say it was late 90s, maybe early 2000s. The ironwood tree started to become endangered. There was too much harvesting going on. So they put a stop. So the only pieces that you will see things made of now are either the vintage ones from when they were allowed to use the big pieces, or they can use fallen branches. So there are still some companies making, or, artists making the smaller sculptures. So you will still find those being made, but large pieces, You won't find the large pieces unless a tree falls down and they happen to be able to harvest. So it goes with that whole supply demand thing. That is how everything works in retail. It is about supply and demand. And that's why sometimes we have trends of things that drive demand. I mean, supply might be the same as it's always been, but the demand goes up, which makes prices go up. So in the case of the ironwood tree, it became known that, oh gosh, these big pieces are not going to be made anymore. What's out there is out there. That right there creates a spike in collectability. So this particular piece, let me scroll down real quick and just look at it's just under 12 inches. So it's a foot tall. So it means it's this big, which is a very large piece of ironwood in today's market, which means money, money, money. So that right there tells me that this is a piece that is going to be very, very desirable to the collectible market. And remember, you're marketing when you're pricing high, you are marketing to the person who understands the value. That's what you have to remember. Are you selling it to yourself or your cheap friends? No. I always have to remember, I am not my customer. I would not pay my prices. I wouldn't. My prices are crazy. But I'm not my customer. There is a whole market of collectors out there who know what they're paying for, and they are happy to pay those prices because that is the value for them. I'm thinking with a reseller mind. I'm thinking with like, well, I know how much I have to pay in order to make the money. So you have to think in terms of who the customer is, not your mindset. I'm cheap. I am that cheap friend. So I don't say that as an insult to anyone. I'm cheap. I am a bargain shopper. I don't pay full retail for anything. And it was a really tough thing to figure out that I don't need to price things in where I would pay for it. So that's the first thing I hope you guys will get is don't price it like what you would pay for it because you're probably pricing it too cheap. I'm just saying the reseller mindset tends to be one of, I don't want to spend very much, right? Okay. Because we know where to get all the good stuff cheap. Exactly. Case in point, I don't even know how many comments I got about something. Oh, when I bought those little stacking planters and I paid $1.99 each. They're plastic and you offset them and then you can stack them up and everybody, oh, those were at the Dollar Tree. Those were at the Dollar Tree for $1. And I'm like, I don't care. I will pay $2. I'm not that much of a bargain shopper. I'm going to try to go to the Dollar Tree and find it because I want it now. So there are some things, if I want it, I'm just going to spend more than if I could go get it cheaper somewhere else. But then I also had people telling me, well, do you know you can't really get those at the Dollar Tree? They sold out very quickly and there are people selling them for $15 a piece over on Amazon. Supply and demand. Sure, if you're a Dollar Tree shopper and you happen to find them and could get them and do that, now the supply ran out. Now you have to go to the next market, which is going to be Amazon, and pay $15 a piece if you want those. And that's just the way retail works. It's a beautiful thing, actually. That's how we all make money. It's because people need that stuff. All right. I'm perusing the chat real quick here. I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm just, okay. So now let's talk about this piece and how to really fully convey that $250 value. Actually, first, tell you what I'm going to do first is I'm going to tell you how I came to that value. Because here was one of the issues is that she couldn't find another one exactly like it on eBay. So ironwood, I'm going to put in fish because we know it's a fish. Let's try ironwood fish first. And of course, hers comes up first because I'm the one looking at it right now, so they think I'm already interested in that one. So we've got, $49.99. Look, I can see where you would think, no, this must not be worth very much. Yeah, look at all these, $40, $45. Gotcha. Yep. Let's see what you're talking about there. So what I do first thing when I am researching, come up here. Your default is always going to be best match. Get out of that. Go to price plus shipping highest. Let's start seeing what's actually out there. What have other sellers priced this for in the upper range? And you can see, oh, well, would you look at that? Now, Jerry, I think, is this a new list? I didn't see this listing the first time that I was looking at yours. Isn't that interesting? But now that you've priced yours there, someone else came in and priced theirs there is what it appears to be. And that's the beauty of this e-commerce world, is that we can start pricing trends too, which is what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to do that. Start the pricing trends. Price the stuff high. Other sellers come in, they research, they go, oh, let's price it up at that. Okay, so we've got that one, which is, I don't even think it's as nice as the one that you have, just saying. And there's yours. Then, okay, and they could start kind of going down from there. 180, 155. And then I'm going to come over to solds. Notice we don't find one like it. But here's what I want you to notice. People will pay up for a large ironwood sculpture. Is this the same sculpture? No, it's not. It's much more extravagant. I get that. But it shows you people will pay up for a large ironwood sculpture. These are much smaller. He's much smaller. And he's just a single sailfish. So you've got your pricing. Look at, here's just the little stingray, which yours also has on it, sold for $35, all by its little lonesome. So here's the other thing then that we have to do. Hold on. I'm going to go. I never do a Google search live. Those that know me, I've explained this before. You will never see me do a Google search live because I've had bad things show up. And then I get in trouble with, YouTube and all of that. Now we can go back. All right. So I've done my Google search now. Ironwood sculpture. It's going to show me the ads up here first. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to kind of look what's out there. Boom, diddy, boom, diddy. I am looking for, not exactly the same, but kind of the same size, genre, all that good stuff. There's nothing exactly like it. And now, this is my other thing, guys. If you can't find another one like the one that you have, that right there is dollar signs. Dollar signs! Think about it. You're a collector. You've got all these wonderful sculptures on your shelf. Along comes this one, and you go, I don't have that one. You go bargain shop a little bit, see if you can find one for a cheaper price. No, because Jerry of Vintage and Vino has the only one out there on the market. Supply, demand. You only, in this case, need one demand because you've got the only supply. That is a name your price moment. So if you price it too cheap, you will never know how much you could have gotten for it. Right? If you price it high, okay, somebody answer this for me. If you price too high, what is the worst thing that can happen? What is the worst thing that can happen if you price it too high? Is ironwood always smooth? I think so. I think it's pretty much always, I mean, you can see some sculptures where they've added some texture, but it's a smooth, yeah, they smooth it out. I'm going to see. Thank you, Melissa. I'll come back to that question. Nobody will buy it. It doesn't sell. It just won't sell. You have to accept a lower offer or lower your price. You have to lower your price. You don't sell it. No harm, no foul, right? There's nothing ventured, nothing gained. In this case, you are potentially sitting on, and I didn't just pull $250, just out of the air. It was based on seeing that these higher end sculptures do sell in the 150 plus range. Now, I'm not saying it's going to sell for 250, but pricing it at 250 is definitely going to give you the leeway to sell it for a much better price than you were originally going to. So now when you get that offer that comes in for $200, $175, whatever that is, you're going to go, yeah, ka-ching. And that's where you don't sit. Well, okay. See, this is where it gets a little tricky. So if you get that offer immediately after listing something, I say, no, don't jump on that too fast. If you get that offer after the item has been up for 2-3 weeks, now is when I say, okay, jump on that a little quicker. Because and if you get watchers, do not send out offers to watchers yet. Just hold back, because you only get to do that one time per person watching. Meaning if somebody watches it, you send an offer, they don't like your offer, you don't get a second chance with that customer. So this is the type of item somebody is going to keep on their watch list for a while, right? They're going to think about it. They're interested. They know you got it. They're not going to find another one out there. Some things you have to worry somebody's going to go out and shop and find a different one. Not in this case. Not when you have a completely unique original item like that. So you can sit on it and you can wait. So, maybe I'd probably wait at least a month before I send out those offers to watchers, and then I'd be fairly aggressive, and then I would probably send out price it to where it comes down to about 175, because that's going to make that person go, oh, they just gave me $75 off, and somebody's going to jump at it, because a true collector knows it's worth that much. They know it. Guarantee it. Some of the antique glass, some of the good glass, and some of those really unique pieces that you guys find, the collector knows what that's worth. And if you've got the only one out there, do not be the cheapest price. Do not be the one who's willing to drop the price just because you're anxious about getting that sale. Desperation is really bad for business. It's really bad. There's other stuff you can sell quickly and make money. But when you get those really special items, you need to wait for that buyer who's going to appreciate and pay that price. All right. Real quick, I want to grab this question. What's the best image search site? So let's talk about image search. I'm not a big fan of image search. For some things, it's okay. For commodity items there's a lot of stock photos out there, it's okay. With the collectibles and the antiques and the unique items, it is not perfected. And the other problem is most sellers of those types of items are not taking good enough pictures for the item to be recognized in an image search. So image search technology requires that the little feeler bots, whatever you call those things, are recognizing what the item is that you're asking it to look for. And with, there's no words, if there's no clearly defined edges, it's going to have trouble doing that. And it's going to send you back a mishmash of stuff. I really don't like image search technology. And this is not to offend anyone, but if you are strictly searching with image search, I'm going to call you out and being just a little lazy. We have to type in the words. Type in the words. That is the search technology that pretty much I won't say it's perfected, but it is very, very functional. And don't put in too many words. Like I did ironwood sculpture. You don't want to put in a whole mass of words that narrows down results for you. So you say not for pricing. Oh, let me get this. StreamYard, where did it go? There we go. Had to get that off there. So she says not for pricing to gather info on the item using it. Yeah, it's the same thing though. Because if you're looking for something, you're going to miss results if you're only doing an image search. I mean, try it. You can try. I'm not telling you not to try image, but if you don't get the results that you want from image search, don't just stop there. And I say that because I see it every day in my Facebook group. All people do is an image search. They can't find the item. They're like, I don't know what it is. Instead of typing in the words, type in the keywords, because your customers are also typing in keywords. So it's important to know what comes up when you're typing in keywords. So let's see. Did I see another question come through over here? Half of your watchers are most possibly your competition watching your sale. That's possible, but that's okay. So because watchers are good, watchers are really good for your metrics. Yep. Oh, you have 2 watchers watching your ironwood whale right now. Oh, Jeannie, I want to know I want to see your ironwood whale. Can you put the item number, not a link, because I can't click links from the chat, but if you could put the item number in, I want to take a peek. All right, you guys, I can't keep up with the chat. I can't keep up with the chat. By the time I find what you guys were saying, you've said about 50 more things. Yeah, image search, I agree. Last resort. Yep. So you do image search when you have an item you don't know the name of, and you usually find it. So again, there's no one size fits all, and this isn't an absolute for every item, but usually there are words that about the item. The shape, the color, the material it's made of, if it's got a design, what's on it, if it's got a maker's mark, what that maker's mark says, if it's glass, if it's stripes, or if it's ribs, or if it's smooth, or if it's plain. And those are the things you do know, and that's how you can start your keyword search, is with those things. Okay, she's going to go find it. All right, so let me go back to Jerry's listing now that we've gone through all that. So we want to convey in our listing that this is a bougie piece. Like this is worth, I'm telling you, this is worth $250 is what you're saying to your customer. And the first place you have to do that is in your pictures. Pictures. Also, this is an item that probably wouldn't come up in image search very easily because you've got the brown blending here. And I mean, the top part is good, but you really want to get this on all white. I can't stress this enough, you guys. You want the all white background for eBay and Google. I know Etsy, you kind of have, the, what's it called? More of a vignette kind of a thing going on with Etsy. It's more artsy. Etsy is artsy. I mean, that's it. It all started with artisans and people who did crafts and things. But for eBay and Google and I don't know about Mercari and some of the other ones, but I'm going to talk about our mainstays of eBay and Google, which is the 2 places people search for things. You changed the pics. The all white was really bad. How could the all white be really? What I see going on here, it seems to be something maybe in your camera. It does not appear to be focused. Look at the other pictures. Yeah, there's either a lighting issue going on. see, I don't see that as that really bad. And what I would do with that is do a little editing with the eBay picture editor. Okay, so like take for instance, this picture right here. See how it's kind of fuzzy. So there's something making that kind of fuzzy. And it could be lighting, working with the camera. What camera are you using to take the pictures? I mean, lighting is usually, that's the first thing I check. It's like, pictures aren't coming out good, check the lighting. But I would go with the all white. But I would work on, see, it's grainy. So did you make this picture bigger? Did it start out a smaller picture and did you make it bigger using your iPad? Because it looks like this, I can see the pixels, like it was stretched. Could that be what I'm seeing? Which could be a setting on your iPad, but that's what it looks like to me. Is it took the image and made it bigger, and when it made it bigger, it fuzzied it. It's fuzzied. It's fuzzied. It's cloudy. Oh, like Melissa says, is there a fingerprint on the lens or something? You don't make them bigger, but I'm wondering if the iPad is doing something. I would work on the pictures because the pictures are what are going to sell this item. Also, I would work on, and this is one of the cases, and I don't say this very often, but I would put an item in the picture to show the comparison of size. So I know I hate the Coke can thing. I don't use it as your gallery picture, but in one of your pictures, do like the Coke can thing that people can see, because you want to accentuate that this is a large carved ironwood angelfish stingray sea life. Okay, so here's the other thing I just noticed this. Title: large carved ironwood. The next word should be sculpture. Sculpture is a sexy word. Sculpture is a word that speaks money, speaks value. It's a bougie word. So if you have a sculpture, you want to use that word sculpture. Large carved ironwood sculpture. Oops, where'd it go? And then I would put angelfish is fine, but you want fish separately. So I would separate out angel and fish, because eBay and search are going, if somebody types in angelfish is all one word and you have angel space fish, they'll give them the results still. You don't need the and in there. You can take that out and put stingray. I don't know that I would put sea life. I probably would take that out. And I would put large carved ironwood sculpture, angel space fish, stingray. That's what I would do. Pro photographer tip: get a lens cleaning kit and always clean your camera lens before taking photos, even on a phone or iPad. Thank you, Jamie. That's a very good tip, and it's actually one that I should probably follow as well, because you know what? My phone has been taking some fuzzy pictures, and I'm a thinking maybe I need to clean the fingerprints off of my little guy. Oh, you guys are still, Jeannie's looking for the item number. It's in your listing under item specifics. Oh, okay. Okay. Here's something else. This is another reason you want to price things high. And not a lot of people think about this when they have an expensive item. You guys see this right here? I don't know if you can read what that says. Let me blow it up. Let me blow it up. Whoop. Hold on. I just did something. Oh, what did I just do? That wasn't good. Okay, I think I got it right. I did the wrong monitor, so I messed with my StreamYard and I made it so I couldn't see you guys. Okay, let me blow this up. right here. Now, no interest if paid in full in 6 months. Yada, yada, yada. People can pay on credit for these more expensive items. That right there can be a game changer. Hold on, I gotta fix that down again. So as long as your item is over $99, people can make payments. And people like to make payments. Yep, payments. So that's another reason, price those things high. I get a lot of criticism over my pricing. I just do. But you know what? I don't care because my bank account is happy because I sell stuff at those prices. But here's really like the other thing you need to remember. One of the reasons I price that way is so that I can do very appealing offers to watchers. I can accept lower offers without feeling like, oh, I really needed to get more for that, but I got to take more than a couple bucks. You know, when you wrestle, if you are wrestling a lot with the offers that come in as like where you feel like you should take it because it's not that much less than you priced it at, but you're really like feeling all of this anxiety about selling, okay, then you're not pricing high enough. I'm not going to say it. You price at a point where you can take the lower offers and you can make the lower offers. It's a whole psychological thing. And we are in a genre of stuff. And I'm speaking to the antiques collectibles sellers, the one-off sellers. I'm not speaking to the commodity item sellers. It's two different things. I wish eBay would get that. Maybe someday. Okay, I see that, Jeannie. Awesome. So it's a world that has developed with a lot of not bartering. Bartering is not the right word. A lot of negotiating. You know, flea markets. Flea markets are all about this haggling. It's negotiating. That is the collector world. There is no set, manufactured suggested retail price is $299.99. No, we don't have that. We have to come up with the numbers. And the problem is we have on the big venues this race to the bottom. Everybody thinks they need to be the cheapest price. So, okay, this seller priced it at this. Oh, well, I'm going to come along and price it, $5 cheaper. Oh, well, I'm going to come in $5 cheaper than that. $5, $5, $5, $5. And all along, you've had the customer willing to pay $299.95, But sellers sit there, start competing against one another and lowering prices, thinking that you have to be the lowest price. And you don't. And it's okay if you price yours high and somebody comes along and prices theirs at Froggy at half the price. Because guess what? Their item may very well sell at that lower price. Great. It's now gone. Supply, demand. Now, if you have a constant struggle with people coming in and beating you up, by pricing lower and your item's not selling, it's one of those things that you just, you have to wiggle your pricing and work with it a little bit. But I don't start doing that unless an item's been listed at least 3 months. 3 months before I play with the price. Okay, I'm going to go over and find, if I can, I want to see 60913. There it is. I found it. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. Don't worry. Hold on. Let me just get it pulled up here. So here's Jeannie's ironwood whale sculpture, hand carved. Love your title. I see. Oh, he's beautiful. I love him. I'm wondering if this might not be a better gallery picture because you can it's a little hard to see him unless you took this picture, but came in from a side, like straight on side angle to where he was like angled up. This angle is a little bit. Why is it doing that? Stop it. My mouse was floating. This angle is just a little bit hard to see. So you might try that. He's wonderful. I love him. Let's see. And you have him. He's 11 inches long. Wait, he's 11 inch. I have to get my ruler here to visually see that. 11 inches long. He's only 1 3/4 inches tall. Are you sure? Something doesn't seem. How can he only be 1 3/4 inches tall? Wait a minute. Really? I would measure him again. I bet he's taller than that. I would double check that measurement on that. Let's see. I'm just catching up on the chat a little bit because you guys have been talking while I've been talking. Yes, eBay gives wonderful, wonderful, wonderful editing software right within the listing flow. I highly, highly recommend using it. If only you do it on the gallery photo. And I'll show you what that looks like. Oh my goodness, it's already 1:45. I'll show you what that looks like. I think, well, you know what? Before I say I think, how about I go over here and see? Let's just go look. Ironwood whale. Let's see what other ironwood whales are selling for. Gotta love eBay throws the one that I was looking at. See, this is how it's working, guys. This is how eBay is doing it. They know that I have spent some time on Jerry's listing over there. So they're going to put it in front of my face again, even though it isn't a whale. Gotta love that. All right, here we go. 387, 375, 165. Hey, hello. There's some big priced whales here. I'm thinking. Yeah, and just so Jeannie, see the difference between this picture and your picture? Just a little bit, the scale and kind of the angle. I would just kind of work on that one a little bit because your gallery photo is everything. But now let's go over to souls. Oh, how gorgeous is that? Oh. I still think that eBay manipulates what they show you here too in the solds. I don't believe this data. I mean, I believe all these sold for that price. What I think is they're leaving out some higher price sales, and I just do. And they're doing that because they want things to sell. They have the power. They don't share any of that. We have to just trust that they're showing all the results. And that's again, why I don't just follow what I see. If I've got something unique, price it up. But 75, yeah, I'd probably increase it a little bit because you want it to sell at 75 or close to it. So if you wanted to sell at 75, I'd price it up in like the at least 100, if not 120 range. So you have that wiggle room for offers and all of that. Yep. Let's see, I'm trying to catch up on the chat. I just had somebody just posted this morning in my Facebook group that they had, I forget what the item was. Maybe somebody remembers. They had an item. They had it priced at $25. I told them to up it to $50. It sold for $50. You guys, do not be afraid to price your stuff up. Price it up. Let's see. eBay is a funny market because they're not showing all the results. They claim that. It's in the user agreement now, both. And you can imagine if it is in active listings, they're not showing you all the results. It's going to be in the sold listings too. Now, we used to have outside sources like Terapeak who collected the data, and then we could see like all the data. Well, eBay purchased Terapeak. You guys know that, right? eBay now owns Terapeak. So they have control of the data once again. And unfortunately, Worthpoint gets its data from where else? Terapeak. So now Worthpoint is not getting all the results it used to. Now, the reason I still use and love Worthpoint is it goes back years and retains the pictures, whereas Terapeak only goes back 1 year and there's no pictures. So that's the reason to continue to use Worthpoint, is they have that data that goes back years, because sometimes you need that for identification, just to kind of see trends, that kind of thing. I have never been one to just flatly believe what big corporate tells me, because I understand how big corporate works. Big corporate is not out there to take care of you. Big corporate is out there to take care of themselves via their stockholders. So they're going to put out the information that they think you need to see, not the full details. Like I have been kind of reaching out, asking some of the execs that I'm connected with if they're seeing any trends in slower sales. I'm not getting an answer, of course, but yeah. You guys, you are the CEO of your company. I say this pretty much every week now. You get to decide your policies. You get to decide your pricing. You get to make all of those decisions. And there is nobody to stand over you and slap your hand if you do it wrong. Do not be afraid to do it wrong. I have a bug in my face. Do not be afraid to do it wrong. There is no do it wrong when you're working for yourself. There's learning. There's, okay, tried this. It didn't work, but it's not wrong. It's just something that just didn't work the way you had expected it to. Be a risk taker. Risk takers make money, lots of it. Every person you know that has a lot of money and a lot of sales or a lot of whatever it is, they took a risk. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. They don't sit and agitate over a decision. They look at the facts. They go, yeah, this could happen, but this could happen. Yeah, I'll go with this, right? They just make a decision and take the emotion out of it. And that's what a lot of us have trouble doing, is separating out the emotion and running these businesses that we run, because we get very, very deeply involved and attached to the outcome of listing this stuff. It's like, we get a bad feedback and it's like a personal assault, and it's not. It's really not. It's about somebody else just had an opinion or had a bad day or had a bad whatever. Trust me, run a YouTube channel and you will see all those people that have a bad day and have to take it out on somebody. I'm starting to get, those thick shoulders, taking all that stuff that people say to me on a daily basis. But it's okay. Because at the end of the day, I know what my bank account looks like. They don't. If something's working, it's working. And you guys can make it work, but you have to take risks. You have to be willing to kind of get outside of your comfort zone, or get outside of what, you put it out there because all right, this is what happens. You go ahead and you do something, like I tell you, price it high or whatever, and you tentatively do it, and then you put it out on social media to get validation. And you know what you get? You get the other people who are afraid to take risks telling you you're doing it wrong. It's never going to sell. Don't do that. Who told you that? They're crazy. And then you take that advice and you go back to selling stuff too cheap, and then you're not making enough money. And that's what you got to break free of. You will always find people on social media to validate not taking a risk, because risk takers are the exception, not the rule. Most people are not the risk takers. That's why we only have a wealthy 1% in this country. Like, just do it. Just do it. Just go for the moon, you guys. If you go for the moon and you don't quite get there, you're still going to reach the stars. It's like, I love that saying because it's so true. If you only shoot for the clouds and you fall short, you're going to fall back to the ground. So just take the risks. Just take the risks. I mean, and do it within reason. I'm not saying be crazy with your pricing. You have to look at what's out there. But I always go, hey, wait, somebody else got $300 for that? Well, by Jove, I can get $300 for that, because you only need that one person who sees the $300 value, right? I mean, but if everything's selling in a $20 to $25 range, you of course don't want to price it at $300. I'm not saying that. I'm really speaking to those very unique items, those things that you can't find another one out there, the things that hasn't sold for years. You found one on Worthpoint, and it's like, oh, well, they got $500 back then, but I don't know. It's been years. Yeah, it's probably worth more than that now. So just keep that in mind. And I mean, and I'm only just one person out there telling you this stuff, but I say test it. Just test it. Take a piece or two that's inside your eBay store that hasn't really sold and you can't figure out why. Raise the price. Before you lower the price, raise the price. Because there are people out there that are sorting by highest first. eBay would not have this option if people weren't searching by it, because there is a whole market of people out there who want to see the highest ones, not the lowest ones, because they tend to think lower price, cheaper product, something wrong with it, all of that. So eBay wouldn't have that in there if it wasn't a function that people were using. And that means people will pay the high prices. And I've been doing this for almost 23 years. And I have made tons of money with this philosophy. It's not something that I'm telling everybody else to do and I don't do myself. I have proven that it works. It works. So let's see what's happening over in the chat in our last couple of minutes. I see a little action going on over there. Do I have any pointers for photos of clear glass? I use a white background, but I have issues with clear glass. Black. Use a black or a gray or a blue background on clear glass. Clear glass is tricky. It's very tricky. Yeah, you got to have the contrast. Oh, you know what I told you? I was going to show you. I told you I was going to show you real quick how to do that editing. Banner making company, canva.com. Love canva.com. All right, let me see. I saw something going on. Let's see. If the seller says used, look at photos. I don't buy because most pics aren't good enough. So I want the seller to be upfront about every scratch. So that's a good point. You do want a transparent seller. Good pictures are a must. I always stress that. Pictures. It does speak 1,000 words. It's like, but if you're that buyer who, how am I going to say this? If you're that buyer who expects a seller to note every little thing wrong with an item, that's a little unreasonable too. Yes, look at the pictures. If the pictures don't show you what you need to see, move on and buy it from somebody else. Because eBay is a world of people who are just people. They're not professional photographers. They're not professional retailers. Do they have to disclose defects? And yes, absolutely. Should they try to take the best pictures possible? Yes, absolutely. But don't be that buyer that comes in and buys the thing, then scrutinizes to get a partial refund or return it. Don't be that person either. And if you need more pictures of something, just message the seller and say, hey, I'm having trouble deciding if this has such and such on it. Could you upload another picture or ask them or that kind of thing? Yeah. I'm not saying you do that, but I'm saying there's a lot of buyers out there that do that. And it kind of drives me crazy. Oh, I love it. Let's end on this. I will show the editing next week. How's that? We'll go through pictures next week. I priced a men's bag for $699 when the others were listed much lower and mine sold. Bam! I love evidence. I'm telling you guys, this strategy works. It just does. It's psychology. And the human brain is a very interesting thing. It's perceived value. Right on. And it's okay. They're going to get it and they're going to be happily in love with it. And they're going to show all their friends, oh, this is my $700 bag. They don't want to show you their $20 bag. They're not proud of that. They want the status symbol. So good for you. Good for you. All right. We can always continue the conversation over in my Facebook group, Niche to Profit. I got the link down in my description. Actually, yeah, it's there now. It's there now. If you're struggling to get started on eBay, if you need like that step-by-step, you want to see it done, you want, like I'm a list person. If you need the list of do this, then this, then this, then this, you want videos that go through step-by-step, myself and my friend, Jeffrey Clark, the Sorcerer's Apprentice, we put together the proven eBay course based on our combined almost 40 years on eBay in completely different genres of stuff that we sell. And we put together a multi-video course that takes you through it step by step. That is also a link down in the description. And that is if you are just having trouble getting going. It's got a money back guarantee. Like you get the course and you say, yeah, I didn't learn anything from this. Give you your money back. Because we are so sure that it's going to help those of you who need that little something extra over, just watching the YouTube videos and all of that. That's what we did. It took us a year to put that together because we wanted to include everything. I said 40. I said 40. Did it sound like 4? No, almost 40 years. 40 years. Yes, absolutely. And you guys are still talking about that pricing thing. I know it is a huge, huge point. Talking about pricing. Do you suggest selling an item that has a small chip at the bottom of a vintage ceramic bowl? It's going to depend. If it's $1,000 bowl, you're probably still going to get $500 or $600 for it. If it's a $50 bowl, you're probably going to get $10 or $20 for it. So it's all about the actual value, if it was perfect, and then determining how much the damage detracts from that. There you go. All right, everyone, have a fantastic week. I know there's a lot of stuff coming out on the channel this week. I'm doing a road trip, but it's not to San Diego. I'm doing a special little road trip tomorrow. So I'll be filming outside of my normal genre of stuff. And I'm going by myself again, which is, it's very brave of me, if I do say so myself. It's open road and it's 100 and some degrees. And so I'm hoping the little juice box does its thing and chugs right along and doesn't have any problems. So those videos will be coming out later this week, as well as I have a sale happening on the channel on Friday. I hope to see you there. So with that, thanks for being here, everyone. Thank you to my moderators who have helped keep everybody talking over there. Make sure you go check out, as many of them have channels of their own. Go check out their channels. And I think even Julia, Perfecting Pearls, is having a live sale right as I end here. I probably think I just got the notification. So you can hop over there and see what she's got. And with that, everyone, have a great week and go be profitable and make it fun. We'll see you on the next one.